Hi there Booktube, it's Eleanor here and it's time for my what I've read and what I'm going to read, my Friday Reads video. You can see I'm in a bit of a different location this week. I'm currently in Cheltenham. We're at the book festival for the week, so I apologise. I've got you propped on some books and I can see it wobbling about a bit, so I hope it doesn't make you too seasick. So the person I want to shout out this week is Kirsty from the channel Melbourne on My Mind. I found her recently through someone else, and I found her because of a particular video which was entitled How I Read 290 Books in 9 Months. And the reason, as most of you will know, this appealed to me is because I read an awful lot of books as well, but I don't even read as many as that. And I was like, yes, there's someone who reads more than me. I must find out how they do it. And now I understand how other people feel. So I'm like, I must find out how she does it. And she's made a video on it. So I checked it out and it was really interesting. And it's actually piqued my interest in possibly reading multiple books at a time. But I'm going to talk about that in another video, I think. I'm going to give it a trial and see how it goes. And I will update you on it. But I found her through that video. And then I've watched loads of her videos since I've been binging. And I just really love her videos. I love her content. She's really interesting to listen to, and I really think she deserves more subscribers. So I definitely encourage you to go and check her out, and I will link her down below. So now on to the books that I read this week. I read a total of 3 books and 1 graphic novel this week, which was a slower week for me, and it was because of the first book I read. I started the month, and in fact the week, with a buddy read with Patty from I Smell Books, and we decided we were going to read The Raven Boys together. I was so excited about reading this book. I've only heard excellent things. People rave about this series, and I was really disappointed. I think this book nearly put me in a slump. I was really struggling to pick it up. And it's not that I hated it, there was just something about it I just didn't click for me. I really enjoyed the sort of psychic parts of it, and I enjoyed the bits with Blue and her family, but I really wasn't engaging with the boys' side of the story. So the story's about Blue, and she comes from a family of psychics. She's 17, I believe, or around that sort of age, and it's also about a group of boys from sort of a posh private school that are looking for this sort of magical ley line and following this sort of legend to try and discover where this ley line is, and the burial place, I think, of some sort of king who's meant to give you sort of magical powers. Anyway, there's that sort of side of it and a magical element there. I think had the story been about Blue and her family, and perhaps about sort of mysteries that they solved through the psychic side of it, I would have enjoyed it a lot more. I just found the bits with the boys and the ley line very confusing in parts, didn't really work for me. And certainly the romantic elements in here just didn't work for me at all. So unfortunately for me, this book fell a bit flat and I only gave it 3 stars. It was an okay read, but well, and I am going to pick up the others in the series because I already own them, but I think if I didn't own them, I probably wouldn't pick them up. So yeah, I'm hoping that this series might get a bit better, but I was a bit disappointed, unfortunately. But on a positive note, it was great buddy reading again with Patty. I love buddy reading with her. She's really great to chat to, and it made the experience much better, so it could have been a lot worse. Next book I picked up was a book that I was sent by the author, so full disclosure there, it was sent to me for an honest review, and that is Born of Shadow by Sarah Benson. The author contacted me and asked me if I'd be interested, and once I'd read the synopsis I said yes please. She sent it to me and I read this in just over a day. I was fully hooked. It's a YA sort of paranormal historical fiction novel, full of adventure, and we're following a young girl called Cami, and she is just turned 17. She receives a ticket to Egypt to visit grandparents that she's never met. She arrives, her grandparents are missing, and she has to find out what's happened to them. It's full of sort of Egyptian cultural and historical references and myth and legend. It's about a group of characters characters getting together. There's paranormal elements. It's really, really good fun, a great adventure. There was just a couple of things in here that didn't work for me. I felt that the ending sort of stopped a little bit abruptly, and I would have liked it to sort of carry on a little bit more. It could have still left it open for the rest of the series, but I did feel that it stopped somewhere that was a little bit too much of a sharp stop. So I would have liked it to sort of resolve a little bit more. But that's not the end of the world. And the only other thing was I didn't really feel the romantic element in here. I didn't feel that sort of romance between the two characters that have a romantic connection. And so that sort of fell a little bit flat. However, as I say, I read this in a day and a bit. I was wanting to pick it up all the time, which was great after the Raven Boys, and I can't wait. I'm definitely going to read the rest of this series when they come out. So thank you to Sarah for sending me this, and I gave this one 4 stars. Next, I picked up a book which is a bit of a spoiler for my Cheltenham book haul, which is Everything is Teeth by Evie Wilde and Joe Sumner, and this is a graphic memoir. I'll show you some of the pictures inside because I just think it's such a great book. It's all in black and white, but there is bits of colour in there. It's a graphic memoir. It's about Evie Wilde's life growing up. It's got sharks in it, which is something that I'm a little bit obsessed and scared of, and it was just a really good read. I picked this up because actually this evening I'm going to a talk with Evie Wilde and Joe Sumner about graphic novels at the Cheltenham Book Festival, so I'm really excited about that, and I wanted to read this before I went. It has great art. I love the art style of this. The story didn't quite pack the punch that I was hoping it would do. I was hoping it would sort of pull on your heartstrings and perhaps be better for me than it was. However, I did enjoy it and I gave it 3 stars. And then the final book I've read this week is At Last by Jill Shalvis. As you know, I am working my way through the Lucky Harbour series. This is book 5 in the series, and it didn't disappoint. It was a very, very solid 4 stars. This one follows Amy. She's a tough nut waitress with a bit of a difficult past. She's had a difficult life. She struggles to trust or to love anybody. And it's about Matt, and he's an ex-Navy, ex-cop who is the forest ranger, and it's just about them finding each other and breaking down those walls. And there's also a little bit of a side plot there with a girl called Riley, and it was just really, really fun, really good. I read it in under a day. Oh, I just love these books so much, just gobble them up. So that was a really solid 4 stars. So it was a really great reading week. I really enjoyed myself. The book that I'm just about to start, so my sort of first book for this week, is one of my YA shop books. I'm going to go through my next 3 YA shop books now, and that is Soulmates by Holly Bourne. I've heard really great things about this. It's sort of a YA paranormal, I believe. I think it's about, it says, every so often 2 people are born who are the perfect match for one another, soulmates. But what if meeting your soulmate is earth-shattering, literally? An epic, electrifying, extraordinary debut about falling in love. And some of you guys have told me how brilliant this is. I see great ratings for it on Goodreads, so I can't wait to get to it. So that's the books that I've read this week, the book that I'm just about to start, and my Booktuber Shoutout, which is Melbourne on My Mind, so definitely check her out. And I look forward to seeing you in my Cheltenham vlog very, very soon. Bye for now, Booktube.